Just about ready for part two of our double-header from Shepley Oval. It is Gippsland Power and the Sydney Swans. Gippsland Power splitting their results over the last couple of weeks. A win over Dandenong and a loss to Bendigo. First we'll see of Sydney in this campaign. Gippsland attacking to the right of your stream in this opening term. Sydney to the left. So the first centre bounce, Alir involved. Gippsland will go up inside 50, reaching a hand at it and unable to take the mark with a snap deep towards goal and a chance to run into the first, but there's a free kick. It was Christie that had that snap towards goal, but Sydney with a free kick to Gibbs for a bit of a hold in that marking contest against O'Brien. Send the kick wide, Alir waiting underneath that, got a hand to it. Sydney very quickly into their transition and now an open forward line as they'll drive it deep. One-on-ones ahead, putting a lot of pressure on the defence there. Canning doing a pretty good job, stripped of the football, and Chamberlain goes in and kicks the first. Very similar to what we saw in the earlier game with the counter-attack goal in the early part of that contest. And Sydney on the board pretty much bang on a minute into the game. And paying full price for that free kick at the other end, but they had just walked it in and kicked there first, and free kick denied them. Hawkins and Craven in at this bounce, which they'll do again. Clifton contesting the bounce for Sydney. Gives himself a run in from the side. Clearance will go to Fitzpatrick, high in the air. And the leading target comes out, takes a good mark. A couple of kicks from goal. Sets it up. The leading target comes out and takes the mark. Giaccio in the pocket. That was a little bit too simple. Was able to mark it on the chest without enough pressure in that contest. Floating across the face and punched through for the first minor score of the game. Gippsland Power just needing to settle with a few possessions. Spearing kick up the middle, didn't hit the target on the full, which means they've got a little bit of a problem. Stobie was under the pump there, and now should just about have been holding the ball. Callahan in there trying to burrow through. Giving them time to extract as Fitzpatrick sends Sydney deep towards the square, having to wait underneath that and take the mark. Always a difficult ball. And that's a risky kick again, just showed a lot of it to the opposition on its way through towards Brent. And now there's going to be a free kick going Sydney's way. They were trying to work the hand pass through towards Cabor, but it's a free kick before that. Sydney will get another look at goal. Jan's on that far side. That looks good. And a very bright start. They've dominated the opening 3 or 4 minutes apart from that very first inside 50. It's lived down their end, forward pressure, clearance work, and a 13-point lead early. And for the second time, we'll redo the bounce. Lear decisively, the tap, centre clearance though will go the way of Hawkins. Sydney looking very good early, good body work though. With a chance to bounce this towards goal and just missed to the right hand side. So they'll play on from the kick in. Lear at the back. Almost a drop kick in the end. It fell to ground and poked the boot at it. Hawkins, who's had a few possessions early, was involved. Donahue goes up towards half forward. Good mark waiting underneath the football from Eastham. 5 goals in the last 2 games for him. Bouncing it up inside 50. It's cut off there by Sennett. And now plenty of space for Royal out there. Slides that hand pass towards Andriaccio. Goes centrally to Hawkins. Good contest once again. The front and centre work was superb, and the shot at goal has been marked in the square. All a little easy there for Ryan, who just clutched it to the chest, and will go back and kick their third in what has been a very fast start. Turn 18 next week on Wednesday. And the Swans 3-2-20 in the first 7 minutes against Gippsland Power, yet to register. So needing to get hands on the ball from these contests, which they're unable to do. Hawkins, lovely feed wide. Sydney will go inside again. Good contest. Presenting hard at the ball there was Chamberlain, who kicked the first goal. And they're under the pump immediately. Gippsland Power on the last line of defence. Good presence though to hand pass back to the voice. Donahue stepping through a bit of traffic. They link it up okay. Atkins. And then the third link in the chain breaks down. Toru is caught. Royal goes into the pocket. Doesn't hit the target. Mark wasn't taken on the intercept from Callaghan. Lear has given away the free kick there. Looked like he had front position in that ruck contest, but deeming that there was an over-the-shoulder infringement. And Ryan, who kicked one from point-blank range 2 minutes ago with a tougher kick here. 45 metres out, 45-degree angle. Right behind the kick for 4 in the first 10 minutes. Does it hold its line? It hits the post. Hugging this boundary line side. Contest in the front position there from Atkins. And they've given away another free kick there for interference. A block going the way of Hawkins against Lear. Runs to about 52. Thumps that long to the square. Off hands and another behind. 3-4 to no score. Only 9 minutes of time has elapsed. Brent's short ball to the pocket. He might get that back. They'll ignore that and go a little bit longer. And a good mark in the front position and judged as such from Walton. contest again. Can they just string a couple of possessions together? They'll thump this ball inside 50. O'Brien will chase hard the boundary or win the day, so they'll get a throw in their forward 50, just desperately needing a goal to settle things down. And jumped quickly to start this game. O'Brien doing that ruck work, and then a strong tackle put on Sennett. He's had a couple of early touches. Free kick will go Gippsland's way for shepherding in the ruck. The man on the mark is right on 50. They'll go towards the leading target, front and centre, but just not getting quite enough room there was Matthews. He was on the spot. He's there again, and his left foot snap hits the belly of the ball, goes straight and out of bounds on the full. So Cochrane in the back pocket, and there's going to be a free kick advanced down the grounds. In fact, that's going to go the other way. So there was an infringement about 40 metres behind the ball. So given it was in the forward pocket, that's where the free kick will take place. The non-controlling umpire getting involved gives Lindsay this opportunity from about 35. Got very close to the man on the mark and dragged it to the left. First score 12 minutes in, one behind. Kick missed the target up the middle, but they had reinforcements. Hitchens sends it wide, looking for Chamberlain, one of their early goal scorers. And boundary line denies Gippsland Power the chance to counter. Strong tackle put on Donahue out there. 22 plays one, 13 minutes gone in the opening term. So Judson Ryan taking a turn in the ruck for the Power. Long ball towards their half-forward line. Just at least stabilise general play a bit, but need to get hands on the ball. Hawkins was tackled and stripped of it, and they're going to win the ball back. Scapin. Good kick forward. Donahue's had some early influence for his side. Sets it up to about 25. Punched close to the boundary. Kept alive there by Mentha, only for a moment. Pass shovelled out. So another stoppage. The Power just needing to keep pushing, just try to eke their way back into it on the scoreboard after a fast Sydney start. Pressure certainly lifting. The hand pass worked forward there from Dersma. There's another coming through the system in that lineage, and we're going to have a bounce about 30 metres around from the Gippsland goal. We've had the territory advantage in the last 5 minutes. So far yet to generate that reward from it. Lindsay having a minor hold. They put a good tackle in there on Declan Fitzpatrick. O'Brien tried to take it with him. And this time doing the tackling, Mitchell Stevens, and we'll have another bounce. Just escaping and squeezing the kick out of there was Mentha, but one behind. So two behinds now for the Power. Sydney 3-4-22. 20-point advantage, 15 and a half minutes in. Charging at it there, good mark. Good strong mark on the lead from Chamberlain. Hits the ground running. Awkward looking kick. Numbers are there. Scapin gave the hand pass off. Hurried kick forward. They do have a few players in front position. Dersma would himself, or Mentha, or O'Brien it is, gets the free kick. So Finn O'Brien to about 35. Lindsay feeds the hand pass back. He's generating a bit of space. Hurried snap towards goal. Great attack on it. Now the banana around the corner there from Dersma is the goal. Great courage from Thomas Matthews to split that pack. And Dersma on the spot gets there first, and they get some reward for 6 or 7 minutes of control. 1-2-8 to Sydney 3-4-22. Trying to guide that down was Alir, but it will be Sydney via Price that got involved. Hand pass was pretty sharp. Carmichael goes back into the corridor. McNamara was involved. Maintaining possession, spun out of a couple of tackles into a third. And the umpire deeming no adequate prior, and we'll have the ball tossed up again. Rude Price clipped high, free kick the way of Sydney. Quick give up towards Hawkins. Drives them to about 35. It gets over the back. Gippsland with the numbers. Dersma, the target of this kick, won't get to him on the full, but he's got plenty of time, and then measures it neatly down the line. Mark Spilt when Lindsay was in a good position. Free kick for a hold in the ruck goes Gippsland's way. Fed over the top, risky ball. Stobie then spiked there by Bills, who was upended, and we'll get the free kick. Bills off to Lindsay. Lovely kick inside 50. That's excellent transition. Christie comes out and takes the mark. Long kick's going to land about 5 metres short. It's like close to the line. Not sure it cleared the line. And just as Mentha went to get boot to ball, there was a touch in there and a rush behind the end result. 1-3-9. Place 3-4-22. Taking on the player, running up the middle. And cut off. Xavier Lindsay has it. Ugly looking left foot kick, just wobbled its way onto the chest of Cochrane, moves it out to the far side half-back flank. Sydney lead it by 13 points. Ryan crunches the pack from the side. Already had a couple of shots at goal. Chance for Donahue there. Good ball forward. And now the target was O'Brien. Doesn't quite get to him. He follows it up. Stepped back into danger and found himself dispossessed and holding the ball. It's a very risky kick across defensive 50. Sydney do have the numbers at the fall though. Just running around. Kabor gets it to McNamara. Down the line, it's going to come back again. Taru gives the hand pass off there towards Walton. Wobbly looking kick. McNamara cuts it off. So through the middle, Kabor had a couple of options. Places the kick. Wasn't too bad, just had a little bit too much carry on it. Certainly was to the advantage of the leading forward, but just kept on travelling. 3-5 plays 1-3. There is Donahue feeding the hand pass towards Atkins, who's immediately caught. Sydney taking their turn now to a few repeat forward 50 entries. So Lindsay, left foot kick goes very wide. Will just stay inside the field of play. Andriaccio gathered. Good speed from Sydney now to kick into space, into a dangerous position. They'll go over the shoulder with the left foot, bouncing ball towards goal from Cameron. And 3-6 plays 1-3. Good kick out wide. Lindsay takes the mark about 55 from his opposing goal. Contest, Sydney doing pretty well at the fall, but Gippsland will get this one. O'Brien, quick give. So runner sliding past. Left foot kick is effective, although spilling the mark there was Christie. So he had an opportunity to settle. Hawkins takes it. A very good start to the game. Now, player in Bade was out for a very long time, wasn't covered, and eventually the kick went in his direction. And he's given the free kick away down there. Opening up the middle of the ground. Stobie, kick, would need to have plenty of coverage down towards Bills, who gathers, goes on the outside of the right boot down towards Mentha, punched away from him and over for a throw-in. So last foray opportunity here for Power. A hand pass was cut off. Dersmer will bounce it down towards about 20. Sydney under the pump here. They take possession, wrapped up by Christie, who's had a nearly quarter. He took a mark on the lead. Shot just fell short and then spilt a mark. And then that one there, a good strong tackle. O'Brien took it out of the ruck, tried to get boot to ball. Had no prior opportunity. Wave play on. Sydney can take it out of there. Hawkins' hand pass was a little bit hot. Now they run into a brick wall. They absorb the tackle, get it to Chamberlain. Chamberlain's kick out wide as the siren sounds to end the first term. Sydney with a fast start. Their 3 goals came in the first 8 minutes. Power worked their way back into the contest, but didn't make huge inroads on the scoreboard. Sydney 3-6-24, Gippsland Power 1-3-9. For Sydney, goals to Jans, Chamberlain and Ryan. And Dersma has the goal for the Power at a little front and centre banana. A 15-point lead to the Swans, looking to complete the double after their girls won by 52 points in the earlier match. We'll take a little break for quarter time and join you again in a few minutes. The Swans leading by 15 points. So second quarter about to kick off here at Shepley. Sydney 3-6-24, leading Gippsland Power 1-3-9. Their 3 goals came in the first 8 minutes. Gippsland stabilised the contest a little bit, but only able to eke that 1 goal back via Willem Dersmer on the front and centre. Have stemmed the bleeding though. It was 22-0 before the halfway point of the quarter. Clifton goes up in the ruck. First clearance though goes the way of the Power. Long searching left foot kick will land about 25 metres out. Just stepping through and wrenching the ball into his boot. There was Eastham, as we said, 5 goals in the last 2 games for him with 3 and 2. Bouncing that end over end down towards the goal square. It just kept on tracking through from Craven. And one behind. 1-4 plays 3-6. Trying to win the hand pass there was Atkins. Wasn't all that effective. Goes up towards Chamberlain. Hand pass a little bit hot. Opportunity for the Power. Good tackle though put on Christie. Judson Ryan getting involved there. Taking his chance in the ruck, paddling that one down. Clearance will go to Sydney, just a quick kick, travelling about 25 metres. Good contest between the 2 number 30s. And then Turlick meets up at the ball with a good strong tackle on Harry Cameron. Clearance to Donahue towards Lindsay. Down the line he goes by hand to Atkins, who was forced out of play. Breaking through brilliantly there was Hawkins, goes onto the outside of the boot, and despite losing balance, slipping in and taking the mark comfortably. There was Taru, goes centrally, finds a teammate there in Brent, who gets himself into a little bit of a tangle and in the end straightens up and kicks to a contest in the wing position. Atkins was the target of that, couldn't quite take the mark. Sydney will win it at ground level. Neat kick forwards. Finds the target there in Cameron. Scrub and kick up towards half forward onto the boot there of Turlick. Turns that one over as well. And now another smother there from Hyams. Eventually Bills, who pushes a long way up the ground, gets possession. Floating kick forward. It's a 2-on-1 and now a 3-on-1 in favour of Sydney. You've got the extra numbers at it. Clifton, who's playing in the ruck, gets a hand pass in there. They'll look into the corridor. It's a risky kick across. Mark not quite taken. They've got a little bit of time to gather. They feed it back by hand. Handball was sharp. Sennett also with his kick smothered. Hand pass will eventually make its way through, and persistence here for the Power, who can go into the open goal via Mentha. Pressure from both sides outstanding over the last couple of minutes. It's a Power who force the error on the last line of defence. And they've done well to work their way back into this game. 2-4-16 plays 3-6-24. Back in the middle, clearance to Craven, bouncing it up to Attacking 50 to last goal scorer there in Mentha couldn't quite gather. Carmichael floats a kick wide. Tackle put on by Dersma and the ball will be bounced. Escaping, there was Nandiel. Works it forward and the mark taken. Cameron, who's got it on the far side, about 80 metres from home. Drives his left foot kick to about 30, goes over a couple of the leading forwards. Doing well there under pressure was Turlick. Plenty of smothers in the early part of the game. We'll have a boundary throw in 35-40 around from the Swans goal. Good clearance work, and the hurried snap forward from Nandler was cut off. Comes out wide towards Donahue. Pulls it back on the left. Good leap and mark from Eastham. Off towards Stobie, who straightens up. Kick won't get there on the full. It gets there on the bounce. They'll go towards goal and they'll sneak it home. Christie gets his first, and we're almost all square. Back to a 2-point game, 3-4-22. Plays 3-6-24. So back in the middle, Mills' ass in the ruck for Sydney. Follows up his own contest, gets the footy. Hyams will send forward. Good contest from the side. Cameron will end up with the football. His hand pass deflected, but into a dangerous position. Fitzpatrick involved there as well. They maintain possession under pressure. Comes out towards Scapen, who's caught in a tackle. That'll be thrown up 35 around from the Swans goal. Looking for a steadier. And a free kick in the ruck for a hold. Just seeking clarification there is Alir, and he's going to be marched to the square. So the seeking of clarification might not have been the most polite. And Clifton will be given the gift from the line. We'll pop through the Swans fourth, top of the square. And the margin back out to 8, 4-6-30, plays 3-4-22. So 9-minute mark, 2-1 in the quarter in favour of the Gippsland side. Andriaccio tracks back, gets caught, has one arm pinned and will be done for holding the ball. Perfect tackle. Atkins. Looks to the pocket. Good mark taken under pressure from Matthews. So after one goal in the last 17 minutes of the first quarter, looking at 4 in the first 9 of the second as the game opens up. Kicking from about 30 to 35 metres, got very close to the man on the mark and pushed it across the face. Four 6:30 plays 3-5-23. Short kick to Gibbs. Gibbs to Andriaccio in the back pocket. He's got an option in the corridor. Finds that option in Nandler, who works it out towards the wing. They just peel off him and allow him a bit more space to go forward. Unrealistic attempts, you'd think, on the mark. And the free kick will go against Scapen there to Cameron, who pokes it short, finds a target. And they'll go again into the pocket, some loose checking. And they can have a shot at goal via Carmichael from about 40. On the approach, kick heads across the face, spike to ground. Handel did well just inside the boundary and eventually ran out of room. Throwing at about 35. Clifton, who kicked that last goal, wins the tap down. Working through there was Kabor. Handling the traffic nicely here, Sydney, as they share it around by hand, and eventually Snooks with the tackle just holds them up for a moment. So the free kick to Craven. It's Stobie pushing into space, who takes the mark. Now plays on, but got himself into a tangle in the process. Now it's a 2-on-1 in favour of Sydney. Snooks had to go in over the top and just hold it up. That's the best case scenario for them there. Working through as the ball got that hand pass out. And trying to squeeze the kick down the line. He's done a little bit too much and kicked it out of bounds on the full. So the ball in the hands of Caden McNamara will turn 17 next Friday. Kicks to about 35. Snooks crumbs it at the top of the square. Gave the hand pass towards Callahan and they kept on running. And it was Turlick who drove it up towards the wing position. O'Brien having to battle against 3. Put enough pressure on, but Sydney still able to work it up to a dangerous position. Comes through towards Hawkins. Hawkins kicks off a step, pulls it a long way to the left and just squeezes it in for a behind. Short kick again finds Turlick. They'll go even shorter into the, well, still in the back pocket. Big pack of players flying for this one. Donny shoveling that hand pass. In fact, that was Craven shoveling the hand pass. Sydney get it back. Arms pulled down there. Umpire calling play on. Taru a little bit unlucky. So another bounce, 40 around from that Swans goal. So the umpire circling like he wants to pay holding the ball, and he does. All those repeat stoppages, and certainly found a way to open that up a little bit with the free kick that went the way of Atkins. They'll work it up towards the wing position. Dersma flies from the back, almost pulled in the mark. Eastham is involved there as well. He'll turn 18 in 3 weeks. Will Dersma looking to follow the footsteps of a couple of his siblings. Good hands at the fall there from Hitchens. Roved it beautifully, and a good mark, a good defensive mark taken. Brodie Snooks, who's very good in the last 5 minutes especially. His kick wide. Canning has it on the half-back flank, goes into the middle. They've got a bit of room to move there. Atkins was able to give the hand pass off. Kick towards half forward. Strong hands again from Eastham. Well, the kick match it, he pulls it a little bit short. Andriaccio takes it. Short kick to centre half back. Up the middle, precise ball. Finds Hitchens, goes wide looking for a runner. The kick is well weighted. Bade has it. Can they get the mark in the contest here? They get a front in centre instead, and it's touched off hands. They're celebrating the goal, but it caught a finger on the way through. Very confident call. And good work there from Rug Price to get across and punch it over. Certainly the Swans players in and around that kick weren't aware or weren't expecting that touch. Hawkins slung out of that contest. Might have been held a little bit too long. That kick is a little bit too wide and out of bounds on the full. Calling for them to spoil that ball over the boundary line. Stobie's held up instead. Trying to paddle it back there was Craven. Umpire pays a free kick and advantage away of the Power, who trail by 9 points at the 18-minute mark of the second quarter. Lindsay pulled his left foot kick more centrally where Sydney had the numbers, and then waiting underneath to take the mark, Fitzpatrick. Front and centre, Clifton. Sort of ruckman in the role of the Rover. Andriaccio pulls his kick to about 30. Pack spills, leaves one player on the ground. Donahue will go towards Eastham, who jumped very early. And timing his leap much better there was Cochrane. Kicks into the corridor. He had a couple of options there, and it was an awkward helicopter spinner as Stevens intercepted it. The Power will send the kick wide. Christie keeps it moving on the far wing. Good kick towards Dersma, who used the body well, marked and kept on going. Keeps the kick low towards an open goal. And the mark is taken. They'll just hold it up for the moment. They certainly wanted to keep the momentum rolling. Matthews into the open goal, but will now go back and have a set shot from an awkward angle. Player's usually pretty good at navigating these, at opening up the angle, and he does just that. Gets goal number 4. And draws the margin back to 3 points. 4-5-29 Gippsland Power, 4-8-32 Sydney. Back in the middle, Hawkins first to the ball, but buffered it away. Bills gets the hand pass out. Gippsland Power yet to lead this contest. They have kicked 4 of the last 5 to get back within 3 points. Coming out hard at the ball there was Jans, who's kicked a goal for them already in this game. And the Power through pressure work it down towards centre half forward. Hand pass wide. Picked up by Craven, who drives it long towards the square. Plenty of carry on it. And it bounced sharply back towards goal, but a little bit too late. Second behind, 4-6-30. Plays 4-8-32, 2-point game. There's a free kick for a hold in that marking contest. And Alia, who's given away a couple of free kicks, will be pleased to have that one. Sent forward there from Snooks. Dersma also involved. Will track after it. Paddles it into a little bit of space. Lost his footing. And the free kick for a tackle that lingered a bit long on the far side will go the way of the Swans. Sends the long kick down towards the wing position. Hand pass from Turu's worked out of there. Comes back again towards Turlick, who drives them towards half forward. Paddling it into some space. Stobie on the far side. Hand pass comes through. Stobie will get it again. Hard up against the boundary line. Would need a good kick from there, and it tried to work its way back and hit the post. 4-7 plays 4-8, 1-point game. Just under 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Hawkins takes the mark. Kicks into the middle of the ground well. Carmichael called to play on. Wasn't suspecting of that, just got the hand pass away before the umpire could blow the whistle. Stovey will snap. They've got a couple of players there, but the one Swan takes a timely mark. And Sennett. Kick out, finds its way towards Cochrane on the second attempt. Down towards the wing position, roving done by Walton. We'll share it and get it back. The pressure, he just holds onto the footy, was caught high. Centre half forward with Gippsland Power pushing for the lead in the latter stages of the quarter. They've got a free kick here, just over a minute to play. The free kick with Stevens. Mentha at the back, couldn't get to the contest in time. He's still buzzing around though. It'll be over for a throw-in, so looks as if they will have the last chance to score. Doing well there was Lindsay. And the umpire spotted a high tackle as he leant in to gather the ball. So, closing stages of the term. They trail by a point, the closest they've been so far. And it's going to be a 50-metre penalty or a down-the-ground free kick, probably the greater of the two penalties. So that'll be the 50, which will march him all the way to the line. And there was a bit of niggle. You heard the reaction from the Gippsland Power players getting into their Swans opponent, who's clearly overstepped the mark and had this ball relayed to the square. And on the half-time siren, they hit the front for the first time. Xavier Lindsay from point-blank range gives them a 5-point lead. And plenty of momentum. They kick 4-4 to 1-2 in that quarter to lead it by 5 points. Goals to Lindsay, Dersma, Matthews, Mentha and Christie. For Sydney, it's Jans, Chamberlain, Ryan and Clifton. Half-time, a bit of a skirmish, as you can see, between the two sides. We'll take a break and be back with the second half soon. Second half about to get underway. A fiery finish to the second term with the Power hitting the front after the siren via a 50-metre penalty and push and shove that ensued between the two sides on the way off. Both sides fired up coming back out after the break. The Swans kicked 3 goals in the first 8 minutes of the game. The Power have slowly wrestled their way back into it since. They poked their noses in front at the main change. Second half getting underway. Judson Ryan to start in the centre bounce for Gippsland Power against Oscar Clifton, who kicked the goal in that second term. Andriaccio with the first effective kick down towards half forwards, and Turlik let it out and then flicked it over the boundary line. Quickly onto the boot, tumbling forward. Hand pass was a little hot, but Gippsland still had the numbers. Lindsay, who kicked that late goal, getting the hand pass out. It ricochets back. The long banana down towards a one-on-one. Interesting one for the umpire to adjudicate. Fair wrestle between the two. Ryan, in the end, almost marked it. Off hands for a throw-in. Now Ryan does the ruck work. The kick smothered down towards the pocket. Snooks sees it over for second consecutive boundary throw-in. There was a high contact in there, just clipped over the shoulder, going in low to pick up the footy. And the early opportunity will go the way of the Swans. Declan Fitzpatrick. So to restore the lead that they lost to that end of the ground after the half-time siren. It's dragged out to the left and one behind. 4-9 plays 5-7. But a little wasteful. They were 3 goals to the Swans at one point, so 1-7 since that fast start. Bills takes it. Down the line, good mark. Well judged from Max Donoghue. One of the leading ball winners in the first half goes in the Dersma direction. Players losing it in the sun a little bit there. Now one of the goal scorers in Christie delayed the hand pass. Atkins under pressure, didn't dispose of it. Hill down towards half forward. Work in the contest to tie that up from Taru. Sydney players slow to get up in that contest. Will make his way off the ground as a result. Just escaping with pace. Brilliant work there from Caber. Now the flying shot at goal just misses to the left. Seven plays 4-10, 4 minutes into the third quarter. Atkins takes the mark on the half-back flank, put his teammate under the pump a little bit. Dance around on the wing. Kick had a couple of options, and in the end, it's turned over. Sydney will get it. They're probably enjoying the better of the play in the first few minutes of the quarter. Long ball in the Chamberlain direction, who kicked the opening goal, which came inside a minute in that first quarter. Quick give there from Cameron, and now the long shot at goal out to the right-hand side. Peppering to start the term, 3 behinds. Cut the margin from 5 points to 2. So Callaghan, long with the kick. Snooks there, got hands to it, it was punched away, kept alive by Cameron. Centering ball, and the umpire deeming it that's hit the deck. No arguments from the player necessarily, so perhaps the umpire on the spot. So that Turlick, that'll be down the ground. So Donahue again, getting plenty of it. That's a risky kick into the middle. Well judged though, and a good mark taken by Stevens. Moves it inside, open forward line. Dersma's dangerous there, almost pulled it in with one hand. We haven't seen Eastham hit the scoreboard yet. He was in the vicinity. Clifton immediately wrapped up in a tackle. Sydney under pressure. O'Brien picks it up, and he's tied up as well, and we'll have a bounce. Sydney use it by hand, under the pump. Cochrane's hand pass, about 20 metres. Atkins spun out of trouble. Shoots towards the top of the square and pulling in the one-hander almost there. It just jagged free, and Sydney will concede the behind. 5-8, plays 4-11. The kick had too much on it. It's going to come back in. Stobie, who had a good second quarter. Kick was smothered. Giving them plenty of run is Gabor at the moment, who set up that last foray. Hawkins places the kick out to the path of a teammate. They've got a little bit of room here. It's shared through towards Royal. Royal will go towards the pocket, and the mark is pulled in. Good reflex take in the back pocket. Short to Toru in the back pocket, opposite side. Just basically forcing Callaghan to run where he wanted him to there. Brings it towards Butcher. And now they've got a lot of room on the far side. Dersma will cut back in, nicely balanced. Finds Stobie, front edge of the centre square. Down towards a contest. Lovely roving by Donahue. Curls it around and kicks the goal. Perfect front and centre. And then the finish on the left breaks the 8.5-minute deadlock in the third term with the first goal of the quarter. 6:8:44 to 4:11:35. So Alir goes back into the ruck, and not for the first time we'll have the rebounds. Clearance will go the way of the Swans, teaming up Fitzpatrick and Carmichael. It's turned over via Walton on the half-back flank. Awkward but effective kicking style finds its way through towards Craven on the edge of the square. He'll go to half forward. A little bit of a hold there on Christie, who pushed back into his opponent. Now, he had a shot from slightly closer than this in the first quarter that didn't quite make the distance, which he got underneath. So he'll pass this one and just chipping it like a little pitching wedge, and it's been intercepted. Nicely weighted kick towards Carmichael, one of the 16-year-olds out there. Now, they've got the height here, Gippsland Power, but they don't take the mark. They were able to recover, though. Callaghan, now the free kick initially saw advantage waved on, but they'll go back. Toru will poke it short, just the required. And Stobie, who's been one of their better players, takes the mark. Not a great kick, and it's coughed up. And it's taken by Hitchens. And there was a push in the contest, and the two somewhat lookalikes at half-back. One of them took the mark, the other received the free kick. Toru has it. And he's had a few possessions this quarter. That's an awkward-looking kick. Brent switches it across to the far side, still on the 50. Asked a little bit there of Walton, hung it in the air a long time. And now Sydney will have a long shot at goal. It's all about the bounce, and they get the bounce. Andriaccio with the goal. And the Swans answer immediately back to 3 points. 5-11-41 to 6-8-44. 11 and a half minutes in. Looks like we're going to have to replace the footy. So a bit of damage to that one, and we've got another one from behind the goals, which has just been retrieved. So after that slight delay, the ball to be thrown in the air. Eventually winning the clearance, but having it intercepted. Gippsland Power, good persistence. Donahue, their goal scorer in this quarter. Hand pass will be cut off. This way, that way from Chamberlain. Chips to centre half forward. The ball really making things happen for them in this quarter. He's been lively. Drives it to the teeth of goal. Tackle put on there by Jans. And we'll have a ball up at the top of the square. Stepping through, squeezing it onto the boot and kicking the goal. So creating something out of nothing. Their last two goals, opportunistic, and they take the lead once more. 6-11-47 to 6-8-44. Terrific individual piece of play to get the clearance and the goal there from Hitchens. 6-11 to 6-8. So we'll do that again in the middle. Aaliyah takes it out of the ruck. Can they get the immediate answer here? Gippsland Power. Front and centre there was Stobie. Couldn't take it with him. Now has to tackle. So the free kick will go the way. In fact, the umpires pointed the wrong way. Initially pointed Sydney's way. But the free kick will be to Gippsland Power. So Mentha, the chance to restore the lead from about 47 metres, almost directly in front. They trail by 3 points, 16 minutes into the third quarter. Strikes it okay for distance, but pushes it right. And one behind, 1-2 on his afternoon. 6-9 plays 6-11. Sydney quickly back into play. Hitchens received the kick in and gave it immediately. They drive it forward, coming out hard at the ball and taking and presenting hard there was Royal, but the free kick going against Sydney. And a long ball to about 30. Sydney with all of the numbers, but the mark taken by the last man in the contest. In Stobie, just floated across. And Sydney looked to have that covered in the air. And now with a better look at goal from 30 to 35 out directly in front. And guides it through to produce another lead change. 7-9-51 plays 6-11-47. 18th minute of this third term. Get the clearance via Lindsay. Inside 50 and the mark taken. Just a clean takeaway, and Dersma, who got them going with their only goal of the first term to that end, can line up for a second. Will turn 17 in June. As we say, looking to follow the lineage of a successful family, and that's a successful conversion in front of goal. First multiple goal scorer in the game. And back-to-back for the Power, who lead at 8-9-57 to 6-11-47. Can Sydney respond? It's been a clean takeaway in the last couple. Hawkins in there, who's been influential to try to stem that. Lindsay, who got that last clearance, takes it and is immediately caught in the tackle. Scramble at the bottom of the pack. We're trying to burrow through. Umpire giving them plenty of time, as has been the pattern for much of the day. Left foot kick inside. Good mark taken by Taru goes out wide. And a good lead from Stobie. Risky kick into the middle. Swans able to get a touch on that. They hold it up for the moment, then eventually extracted it half forward. Hand pass fed back. McNamara sends him into the pocket. Lunging attempt there from Ryan, almost pulled in the mark. They've still got it. Stepping around, taking a bounce boldly there. Curling the left foot kick back towards the goal square. And it's going to be a free kick back at the point of release. So the umpire deeming it was as he kicked, not after. And it's a wobbly kick off the left and out of bounds on the full. So Chamberlain making the play, winning the free kick, and then making great contact. Kick into the middle is effective. Craven gives it off. They go down towards half forward, misdirected. Sennett gets in the way and takes the mark. Gets it off to a teammate there in Este. They're under pressure. Hand pass close to the boundary line, running out of room. And over it goes. 10-point game. Just over 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Lindsay just getting the hand pass away. Sydney will win it back. They share it effectively by hand. Carmichael into the middle. That's going to work. Andriaccio gets the hand pass off. Bade will send it long. Getting rid of his opponent and taking the mark. Well done by Ryan, who's been in a couple of contests but nearly took a beauty before. And should be able to convert. He kicked 1 goal, 1 in the first term. Lines it up directly in front and gets it there. Joins Dersmer at the other end as a multiple goal scorer. And back within a kick, 7-11-53. Plays 8-9-57, nearly 23 minutes gone in the third term. Gippsland Power 1-1 across their 2 matches. Victory over Dandenong. Of course, call this venue home, and defeated by Bendigo in the other clash. First we've seen of the Swans outfit across the Coates League so far. Alir, want to grab the jumper on the way up in that ruck contest. Doesn't matter as the Swans get the clearance. Under pressure there was Bade. Alir just got the hand pass away. It comes out towards Donahue. Nice give over the top. It's fed out towards Stobie, who's having such a good afternoon to the top of the square. No mark. Easton still couldn't get a shot at goal away. He's probably been the one missing link in that forward line, given how good his season has been so far. Snapping around the body there was Bill's got the curl, but a bit too late. And 1 behind. So the margin is 5, 8-10 to 7-11. Both sides with 3 goals, 3 in this term. Slides a kick up the middle of the ground. To see Hills is us back out on the ground, having gone off with a lower leg issue 15 minutes ago. popped over the top. Still time for either side to score here. Stobie did that really well. And then just lost his footing on the far side. And over the boundary line. To be thrown in. So 30 seconds for either side to break from this stoppage. Can Sydney generate something here? One last foray inside. Can they get a mark and challenge for the lead? Stepping through there, bouncing shot towards goal. Hit the post, but it's a free kick in any case. So in the end, that free kick cost them a behind. It looked off the boot like it was perhaps going to be maximum points, but it's a 5-point three-quarter time lead, just as it was at half-time. 3-3 apiece in that quarter. 8-10-58 to Gippsland. Sydney 7-11-53 for the Power. 2 to Dersma, singles to Lindsay, Matthews, Donahue, Stobie, Mentha and Christie. And for Sydney, 2 to Ryan, singles to Andriaccio, Jans, Chamberlain, Hitchens and Clifton. A break, big final quarter to come from Shepley. So 1 quarter to play at Shepley. It's Gippsland Power 8:10.58, leading the Swans 7:11.53. It's been tight the whole way through. 15 points at quarter time. 5 in favour of Gippsland at the half. 5 again at 3/4 time. We had 3 lead changes in that 3rd quarter. 4 for the game overall. 25 minutes to separate these two in what's been an enjoyable contest. So the first clearance won't yet be decided. Lindsay got first hands on it but was held up, so we'll do it all again. Secondary bounce. And now it's Hawkins, feeds the hand pass back to Andriaccio, goes to half forward. Good strong spoil there from Toru at the back. In the middle for that bounce was Judson Ryan. Will Brent involved. Now a left foot kick is a good one out to Asher Eastham. Some inside, no mark taken. Swans will try to dig this out under a little bit of pressure. Hawkins' hand pass wasn't taken cleanly. Fitzpatrick was there as well, and we'll have the ball thrown up 35-40 around from the power goal. Eastham nominates to take the ruck. Probably punched it about 10 metres forward. Sydney will get the clearance. Looking for Chamberlain. They'll work it towards an open forward line. Ryan, who's kicked a couple of goals, tries to track after it. Toru goes long down towards the wing position. Cameron caught in a tackle. Umpire looks like he's going to penalise him. Leading player coming up, Stobie, been quite possibly their best over the course of the day. Looking for O'Brien, who's been around the mark. Offhands, Dersma was leading in the race, but the boundary won out. Stepping through well, there was Mentha, floats a wobbly kick down towards the pocket. Eastham couldn't take the mark. Stovey's kick was smothered. Nicely done. O'Brien punches it forward, but they had no one at home. Kick smothered. Stepping through, squeezing the kick. It was touched off the boot. It'll fall a couple of metres short. Strong tackle in the goal square. And the ball will be thrown up a couple of metres from goal. And of course, Swans have to be careful here not to punch it over on the full. Scramble of legs in there. They eventually rush it through. And the margin is an even goal. 8-11 to 7-11. Short kick to Hawkins. All the talls converging on it. A terrific second half. Toru taking so many marks. Big pack of players around it. Dersma for Eastham is also there. Either player can get boot to ball. And we're seeing Gippsland Power do the attacking in the early part of the last quarter, just as the Swans did in the early part of the third. So far, no damage done. And down towards Christie. And the non-controlling umpires come across and paid a high tackle. The umpire on the spot was happy to let that pass. And the umpire standing outside 50 spotted an arm over the shoulder on Christie. Who has one goal to his name. Noah Christie will turn 18 in early June. From directly in front, pops it through. And the margin is 2 goals, 9-11-65 to 7-11-53, 5 minutes into the last term. Trying to break cleanly out of there was Lindsay. In the end, it's Bills who goes forwards. Big contest there with bodies crashing in from all angles, and it's over for a throw-in in the pocket. Biggest lead that Swans have held in this game is 22. This is the biggest lead for the Power at 12. Can they squeeze it out to a 3-goal game? Be very hard to catch. Eastham couldn't escape. They'll squeeze the banana on the outside of the boot there. Callaghan and one behind. 9-12. Play 7-11. 13-point lead. Swans in need of the next one. Got about 18 minutes of playing time left. Wire to wire here. Long ball towards halfback and again through with another mark. Finds the runner coming past, who pokes it inside 50. Didn't quite have the carry. Sliding him as Brent. We saw another one of those grasped in the third quarter, with the umpire deeming that it had taken a bit of turf, and the same thing there. Hurried snap from Carmichael. They get a favourable bounce. That'll be a free kick. And the umpire's paid a hold there. He perhaps could have paid a push. That's what it looked more like, but either way, it's a free kick. Chamberlain goes to centre half back. Now McNamara will look wider. Mark taken on the outer side wing. Drives a left foot kick down the line. Good agility, turning his opponent inside out. Hand pass over the top there towards Jans. Long kick towards the goal square. There's a hold, and it's going to go the way of the Power. And Walton. Short kick to Bills. Shorter again to Lindsay. And then Atkins. Long, wide kick. Did it have too much on it? Just inside the field of play. Nice mark taken there by Snooks. Dances around his opponent up towards the wing. Dersma comes out. Free kick will go the way of the Swans for a hold. Need the next one as we reach the 9-minute mark. Good lead, honoured the neat kick. Hyams has it. Brings it inboard. Finds Andriaccio, goes off by hands. Looks with a high kick, going to land about 15 metres out. No mark taken. At the back they had the numbers. Sydney still persisting. And they're able to lock it in for a ball up 15 metres from Sydney's goal. Free kick in the contest to Sydney. And he's had a few issues on that front. Alir again asking the question to the umpire. It's probably the fourth ruck free kick he's given away over the afternoon. Probably none since half time. But an important one there and an important goal, the result. Now it looks as if we might have another kick here, have we? So he's been given his marching orders, Alir, off the ground, and it appears that, much like we saw in that Carlton Fremantle game at the Adelaide Oval, a descent double, and it could be the ultimate of penalties in that a 13-point margin could become one as a result of that ruck indiscretion, and it does. So just like that, it's 9-12-66 to 9-11-65. You talk about significant moments within a match. 2 goals before the ball goes back to the middle. Basically, that deficit completely erased. (9-12) plays 9-11, approaching the halfway point of the term. Is that a momentum swinger? Sydney work it forward, breaking through the tackle. Stobie getting in the way as he's done on a number of occasions. The pressure good from the Swans. They keep swarming around and they'll get a stoppage at the front edge of the centre square. Quick kick out of there from Craven out towards the boundary line and taken over by McNamara. Caught in a tackle. And the ball not going anywhere, so throw up at the halfway point of the last quarter. Trying to burrow through Fitzpatrick. The Power we needed a couple of minutes of this just to hold things up, make sure the Swans didn't just keep flowing after those back-to-back goals and really take momentum. Good work there from Donahue. Told his teammate a hot one there. Great tackle on Matthews. It's worked up basically right to the paint of 50 and we'll have a bounce. Taken out of the ruck there by Ryan. Little clearing kick there from the Swans, but only as far as Callaghan. Callaghan puts it up inside. Good leap there from Dersma. In that sort of trademark fashion, pushing the back. Free kick will go to the Swans. McNamara having a good last quarter, sends that ball wide. Rube Price will feed it over the top. Fitzpatrick to half forward. Great mark again. Toru's taken so many of those in the second half. He's taken a teammate on the way through. So the clock stops at 14:17, so just under 11 minutes left as we deal with this break in injury for an injury. Stretcher is out on the ground as both sides gather in their huddles. Seeing some movement, which is encouraging. Canning there, rolling onto the stretcher and communicating with the staff. Never what you wish to see, a situation like that. He'll go off and get the best of medical attention. The mark is with Gippsland Power on the back corner of the centre square. Short kick was pretty low percentage, and as a result it's opened the door for Sydney here, and that'll clearly be high contact. Tore a bit of a wrecking ball over the last couple of minutes. One from each side as it's worked forward. McNamara again will go long towards the goal square. It goes through a number of players. Snooks keeps his composure under pressure. Lovely kick to Dersmer, who takes the mark on the outer side. Long kick to a contest. It's an awkward bounce, and the hand pass didn't do any favours either, as it ends up with Mentha, who received from Lindsay, and Lindsay kept on running forward of it, and the free kick will be with the Swans. Going across defensive 50 to McNamara, spilt the mark but had plenty of time to regather. Takes all of that time, drives it wide, and will turn it over. Eastham, so it hasn't had a huge day, Eastham, but certainly had a very influential first couple of weeks and can have an impact in the last 10 minutes. Chips it to half forward. Craven has it. They lead by a point. To the top of the square with the kick. It goes through for a behind. 3 behinds today for Craven, and the lead is 2. 9-13-67 plays 9-11-65. Short kick. Andriaccio has it. Short again to Carmichael. And that'll be turned over to becoming the intercept king. Toru in this second half. Drives it long inside. No mark. Next goal absolutely vital. Tap to ground. Charging after it there was Matthews, who kicked one in the third quarter. Just under 8 minutes left, 2-point lead to Gippsland Power. Hurried snap towards goal was left all the way. The inside-out torpedo from Mentha. 1 goal, 3 against his name. The lead is 3 points, 9-14. Plays 9-11. Chipping it down the middle. Once again, Craven was there. His kick smothered, goes back after it. Drives it long to the goal square. Eastham, did he complete the mark inside the field of play? There may well be a conversation here between field umpire and goal umpire. No, it's been waved away. A couple of the Swans players suggesting that it was a 2 or 3 grabber and might have stepped over the line. Eastham opens up the angle and has got it home. After 5 goals in the first 2 weeks, he gets his first of the day here, 6 on the season. And a big goal in the context of the game, 10-14-74, plays 9-11-65. Quick kick forward from Atkins. Big contest. And again, bodies crashing in. It's been a courageous display in the air. This could just about finish it. He misses everything. Mentha out of bounds on the full. So just under 6 minutes. Turn and go is the call, and turn and go he will do. Carmichael forward of the wing now, drives it to half forward, and another mark from Toru, who's had an amazing afternoon. Trying to shovel out the hand pass. Happy from a Gippsland Power point of view to hold things up. Back out onto the ground earlier after his controversial moment. Just getting some good encouragement and leadership from a few of his teammates as a free kick will go the way of the Swans. Had to bite that off into the middle of the ground. To the point where they need to take those sorts of risks. Donahue will send it deep. No need to rush from a Gippsland point of view. If this goes in the book, he can basically seal the deal. He misses to the left-hand side. 2 goals still required. 4 goals or 4 minutes left. 10-15 plays 9-11. Punched and over for a throw-in. So it's back into play. Sydney need to do just about everything right here, and that's a good start. Flicked into space. They can charge inside 50. Open goal. Has it got the carry? Will it be marked in the square? It's still alive. Can they generate something from this? Attacked off the ground effectively and lands in the hands of Scapen. No need to rush from a Gippsland point of view. Clock ticks down to 3.5, long, searching ball down towards the wing position. Hand pass into a little bit of space. Gippsland Power will work their way forward once again. Atkins sends it in there, and now Sydney have to go with 3 minutes to play. They've got a lot of space on this side of the ground. If they can turn and go, they've got some options over the top. They need to feed. That's a good choice. Down towards Hyams. Now a long kick. Can they get a mark here or create an opportunity? Toru's been excellent. Runs after it. Picks it up on the left. Throws it onto the boot. It might be coming back though. Good effort. Tumbling there from Mills-Vazas. So Sydney, another inside 50. No mark. Have they got the front and centre here? That'll be a free kick for high contact. So certainly time of the essence. When the clock won't stop as the ball comes back to the middle. Can they get another mark here? They can. Now moves it on quickly. Didn't get back far enough off the mark. It could be a goal. In any case, it's touched off hands and one behind. Just needed to step back off the mark. The idea was right to move it quickly, but needed to have the room to do so. And with under 2 minutes left, a mark would just about do it. It's turned over. And Sydney need to make this for a count. It goes over for a throw-in with about 90 seconds left to play. So the hand pass forward towards the top of the goal square. Almost negotiated now by the Power, even if a goal was kicked. The time taken to get the ball back to the middle. O'Brien has a little bit of room. Can they score one themselves on the counter? They cut back through the middle. Delivers to half forward. Mentha's there. Delivers inside. And they can kill the dying moments of the game here on the set shot and put this one in the book. And probably appropriate that Max Stovey, who's been such an important player, has ball in hand. As perhaps the final act delivered on this contest. They've weathered the storm and seen it through into the last 30 seconds. The kick is across the face. Dersma flying high, off hands and one behind. 10-16 to 9-12. Sydney keep on running. They won't stop rolling the dice, but the clock is going to beat them. Snooks has had a pretty solid game. And the umpire will blow the whistle just as the timekeeper blows the siren. And Gippsland Power home by 10 points. 10-16, 76 to 9-12, 66. 10-point result. 2 goals each to Dersma and Christie. Singles to Lindsay, Matthews, Donahue, Stobie, Eastham and Mentha. And for Sydney, 3 to Ryan. Singles to Andriaccio, Jans, Hawkins, Chamberlain, Hitchens and Clifton. 10-16 plays 9-12. Hope you enjoyed tuning into the live stream. We'll be bringing you Coates League action and VFL action every week. So make sure you jump on Herald Sun and jump on the Facebook and all social channels to monitor all of that. We'll sign off from Shepley Oval, where it's been a double-header. The Swans home in the girls and Gippsland Power squaring the ledger in the boys with a 10-point result.